Excellent. And everybody's unmuted. So it's around 9:05, opening the meeting. Right, and let's see. I'll start off by reviewing the agenda. And so the first thing is to review the agenda. The second we'll have the third is public comments. We'll look for minutes from the July meeting and see if there's any changes in there. Talk about committee membership. We'll give an update on the dam activities. A little discussion about Randall Road maintenance. Lake Wyola Stormwater Erosion Task Force, if there's any updates there. There was a little bit about wildfire management, this plan discussion. We'll talk about beaver dams and anything we didn't anticipate. Does that make sense, everybody? Nice. So first of all, public comment. Is there any? There's no guests on the meeting today. It's all membership, all members.
She's talking about me.
Well, you're.
I have no comment, thank you.
I guess public comment could come from a member committee, but. All right, so no public comment. Let's talk about the July minutes there. Take a look at them, or I'm sure you've all reviewed them. Is there any corrections that need to be made?
I found several.
Okay. In the future, you can just email them to me.
Okay, these might require discussion though to some extent.
Okay.
Yes. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Sure. Let's see, so we're gonna go here. All right.
Oh, I had to send a request. I just sent you a request.
Okay, I'm gonna say allow.
It just might take me a moment to
Yep.
figure out how to do it. Okay. Okay.
So we shared.
Oh, and then I thought I did.
Or do I have to hit the share button? Or is it,
I just
I
hit
see you.
share.
I see, you're in the background there. Let me slide this over.
There it is.
All right,
Yeah.
so,
Maybe if you could minimize this one.
okay. We pull it back to so we minimum. I think, yeah.
We hit exit my way.
I'll hit X. I think we might lose the meeting.
It should.
So I'm a little uncomfortable with that one. But, yeah,
You just want to drag it all the way down.
yeah, I think that's a better.
There we go, okay. And if I go, yeah, okay, so I can scroll. So some of them are just typos and some are more substantive. Like John Gorey's spelling of his name at the top there. Do you see where I'm referring to for the?
Right.
Yeah. Did I give you that? Here, Mark.
I got it.
Oh.
I'll take this.
So it's on yellow on the screen, but it's just gray on the photocopy here.
Okay,
The things I did.
okay. Yeah.
Okay, and Art Keen was actually not at the meeting. And it's also not noted that Terry Smith was not at the meeting, and members absent also have to be recorded for minutes for meetings.
Okay.
Yeah, that's if you look here, members present or absent have to be recorded in meeting minutes.
What is this source, Tom?
This is the open meeting law education guide that the Attorney General puts out. As well, if you actually look in this, if you look up role, if a meeting is held remotely, all votes taken during a meeting in which a member participates remotely must be a roll call vote. So there were 3 votes in our session for the minutes to nominate Mark as the chair and then to adjourn. But there's no recording of the roll call vote in the minutes. Like who voted yes, no, and who motioned and seconded and whatnot. But that's required in meeting minutes.
Okay, we'll do that from now on, for sure.
So that's under number 1 there.
All right.
And then under number 2, the first asterisk is about the vote to make Mark the chair. Again, there's no roll call there. Let me skip the rest of number 2 to get to the, or I'll just go in order. So then also in number 2, I just wanted to suggest you put Lake Wyola Association instead of Lake Association for the first asterisk there, but that's not critical. Then where I have a double asterisk, our original charter defined the membership to include a minimum of 3 members and a maximum of 5 members from the Lake Association. If you go down to the double asterisk there, I do have that 1991 charter quoted there. That's also here if anybody wants a photocopy of it. And it reads, the last sentence of that says, it's expected that the Lake Association will choose a minimum of 3 and a maximum of 5 members for the committee, and may also choose any additional property owners who might lend technical expertise. Then I'll come back to that, and or actually no. So if you go down from there, though, in the highlighted part near the bottom of the page where it says 2017, at a select board meeting in May of 2017, that was changed. And it was called a proposed LWAC scope that was presented to the select board at that meeting. And if you see at the very bottom of the page, I get to where the amended membership structure of the LWAC and the proposed LWAC scope reads, and that's at the top of the back of the page. And it's different. The membership of the committee would ideally include 1 member from, and then it lists 6 things: select board, Concom, Board of Health, Planning Board, Emergency Management Director, and Dam Keeper, and no more than 5 members of the Lake Wyola Association. So that appears to make it a number of 11 members, which the 1991 charge left open because it said additional property owners could be added. And at that same meeting at the select board, if you read further, there was a second motion and vote that passed that does define or set the number of members of LWAC at 11, where the Dam Management Committee was merged into the Lake Wyola Advisory Committee to make a committee of 11 members, and then it names the people who would be added. So I thought it would be wiser to reference the most current charge of the committee, because the original charter has been changed as of 2017. So I thought that probably has to get into the minutes somehow. And that's the charge or the membership structure where I said, if you look at the top of the page on the back again, it says, and no more than 5 members of the Lake Wyola Association. That's what I interpreted as on LWAC. And there was some difference in interpretation here. I don't know if we got clarity on that, but just to make sure that everybody knew, that's the LWAC membership structure that I was referring to, the 2017 one, when I spoke at the last meeting.
Okay.
Going forward now, back to number 2 on the first side, it says, however, with Tom representing the planning board and also being a member of the Lake Association, I am not a member of the Lake Association. So that must have been a mishearing or something.
Well, I saw you at the association meeting, therefore I kind of assumed that you were a member of the association. You were at the association meeting.
Sure, but that's a public meeting as far as I understand.
Okay.
No, I'm not a member. Yeah, but I also said during the meeting that I'm not a member, the LWAC meeting, that I'm not a member of the Lake Association. The 4 asterisks about several members noted that Tom is acting as a rep of the planning board and not as a member of the Lake Association, so we didn't see an issue. I'm uncomfortable with the we there. I'm not certain who the we is. That's what I put as my 4 asterisks. Who are the we here? Because I did see an issue, so I don't know if the we means except for Tom, or I don't remember us saying, you know, who had an issue or didn't have an issue with that. And then the last sentence of that part says, Mark will contact the select board to ask their opinion and if needed to remove the 5-person limit. I understand you did that, but I just noted that in the email that you wrote to the select board, you again stated that I am an LWA member, but I'm not. So
Okay.
please just know that.
I can change that.
Yeah.
Sure.
So that was the scope of what I saw in number 2. In number 3, for the wildfire prevention, if you go back to the open meeting law guide, it talks about a member of the public should be able to read the minutes and understand what happened. So I thought it would be wiser to name Alex fully with his title rather than just Alex, because a person from the public might not know who Alex is that we're following up with.
Okay.
And number 4, I used a flyer, which is an extra document, and that's supposed to be listed in the minutes as having occurred, and that flyer is supposed to be kept according to a certain record retention schedule, but the minutes are supposed to note any other documents used in the meeting besides everything, so. And then, oh, sorry. Yeah. 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, and sorry for the people on the screen. Let me get back to sharing. So this is what I just talked about for number 2. This stuff down here details the changes in the charter from 1991 to 2017. This is the part about Alex's name, the flyer that I used. And then in number 5, it was actually looking at the video, Howard, who talked about the GZA inspection engineer.
Okay, so got that one.
And I would recommend, because Haley and Brennan are known to us, they might not be known to the public. So again, I thought it might be better to put Haley Bolton, town administrator, and Brennan Mayu, administrative assistant, when talking about them. For number 7, we did actually also talk about the bathrooms at Randall Road, and we said we would ask who is cleaning them, but we only mentioned in the minutes the brush trimming and whatnot.
Oh, but I left that out because it was being cleaned. You know,
Yeah, but we also said we would ask who's cleaning them. I don't know, and we talked about it. I mean, we did discuss that, so.
we just, I didn't think it was germane to the minutes because it was, we were discussing, is it being cleaned? And then all of a sudden we realized that someone is cleaning it, so it's not relevant. In my mind, it wasn't relevant anymore.
Right, but that happens, so we should report that. If you
Well,
look,
you know, just, you don't understand, when I do the minutes, I don't do literal translations of, this isn't, I kind of summarize what the essence of what the meaning is.
right,
And it's not my intention, and I don't think
if
anybody
you
really
look at
wants.
this part on the screen,
Yeah,
notably, the minutes must include a summary of the discussions on each subject.
which we did, which is,
But we didn't include the bathroom part of the discussion.
I'll put it in your down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the question was left open. We don't know yet who cleans them.
And then I think it's, well, have that discussion.
Isn't that just conservation problem, not our, is there?
This is just a record of what we talked about. It's not a record of whether it became moot or it became more important, like, so it doesn't show that we ever even talked about it, but we did.
Okay,
And then there's no inclusion of the public comment that Nathan Murphy made. And he made a public comment at the beginning of the meeting.
okay, I can make it say, if you made a public comment.
Pardon me?
Yeah, I can say that he made he made a comment.
Right, but we would also have to include the substance or the what he said.
Sure, right, okay, Tom, sure.
And then just the last one is there wasn't a roll call vote of the adjournment, so. Yeah, some of them are, I don't know how to classify all of them, but that's what I noticed when I read the minutes.
Okay. In the future, it'd be nice to send that to me ahead of time. And that way I can update the minutes instead of doing it during a meeting, it's just so we can move the meetings along. If that's
Okay, yeah, I wasn't sure,
Yeah, no, I said these other, I tried sending them out, a little bit in advance, so that people see something. They can send me a note and say, yeah, hey. you did
yeah,
this.
in all honesty, I was looking at this around 11:30 last night, and so-
it would really be helpful to, do a little, just so we, just so we make the meetings more efficient.
right. But we're already having a little bit of a disagreement here, so it probably would have led to a discussion anyway. And hopefully there's no harm in doing it this way.
No, it's not hard. you want to send me your highlighted copy?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, having shared this now, I felt more comfortable sharing it as a group before I sent it off, because I'm always scared that, in sending it, it might go to more people than it should. And I really don't want to deliberate out of open session about anything.
Yeah,
So-
so now do I have to include your comments, your highlighted version in the minutes of the meeting?
I would mention that this exists and, keep a copy of it. Yeah, I can send you a copy of this.
So that's not what my question is.
Oh,
My question was, do I have to add your comments as an attachment to the minutes?
no, what I meant to say is, the minutes, if you use another document at the meeting, the rule is that you have to mention it in the minutes in a list of documents that were used or exhibits that were used.
But we don't.
And that doesn't need to be attached to the minutes, but it has to be retained according to the public record schedule in a known place. So you may attach it to the minutes, but you don't have to.
Okay,
But what needs to be in the minutes is that another document was used or another exhibit was used.
okay,
And then name what that was so that a person could request it if it isn't actually attached to the minutes. But there's nothing preventing you from attaching it.
okay.
So, depending on how we go forward in incorporating, or whether we go forward with incorporating any of these, I don't know if, the minutes for July 19 are yet complete, because I don't know if my markup is, really a typed document.
I would move that these suggested changes be incorporated into the draft minutes, and they be not approved at this time, and bring them back to the next meeting and bring them up for approval then.
I would second that. I think that's a good idea.
Right, so we need a roll call vote?
Good, we do.
Okay, this is interesting. This is all kinds of fun. All right, so let's see, let me get my notes here, my highlights. All right, so there's a proposal to not approve the minutes, but incorporate town suggestions and recommendations. So we'll have a roll call vote on that. And so Catherine,
Yes,
Tom,
Aye.
Howard,
Yes,
Art,
I abstained since I wasn't there.
okay, Eric.
Yes,
And Mark is yes. Okay, so the motion passed, and I'll edit the minutes and we'll review them again at the next meeting. You all right? Anything else on the minutes? Anyone else knows anything? Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
All right, so now, next item is committee membership. This so Tom was questioning the makeup of the committee, and, can a person serve as both a board member and association member? I guess I'm not really sure if we have an issue, to be honest, right now.
My question was actually how many members of the Lake Wyola
Yeah.
Association may be on the committee, regardless of whether a person is a representative of another board or committee,
Right.
but just the question of, you know,
Well,
that's my
yeah,
question.
so the question, do we have more than 5 members on the association and the committee?
It depended, according to last meeting, whether or not David Green became a member, because at the last meeting, he said he intended
not
to
a
become a member, but was not, so that would mean there were 5 at the moment. but
Well, let's just take
So, I don't know whether he became a member or not.
but also, I'm mandatory on here, so why does my belong with the association even matter? I have to be on the committee.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be counted
So-
on the 5.
So we have Howard's on the committee, is on both. John is on both.
Howard's not on the LWAC, right? I mean, sorry, John, you're not on the LWAC.
You speaking to John Gore?
Oh,
I'm
sorry,
not a member.
pardon me.
Yeah. So John, just so you understand, John is here as a guest.
Yes,
because he's
I thought you meant him for a second. I forgot you
Right.
meant John Gory.
Okay,
Oh, he'll come if I don't.
pardon?
He'll come if I don't.
As it's, yeah. Right, Art is, so that's three.
And you,
Well, right now, I'm not sure if I'm a member, but let's say it's on four. So I think we only have four, because I was assuming Tom was on the committee, was on the association. And that was a mistake on my part. Um, So,
Okay, so yeah, I count John Gorey, Howard Kinder, Mark Rivers, Art Keene.
yeah,
We don't know technically about David Green.
right,
That would be five if he were.
right.
Okay, yeah, is anyone else a member? I don't think Bob Douglas is.
Bob is definitely on member. I know he's not.
I'm not.
Catherine's
Catherine, are
not.
you an LWA member?
I'm looking
So-
at this language.
Mm-hmm.
That says the membership would ideally include one member from each of these various boards and no more than 5 members. It doesn't say including no more than 5 members overall. It says all of these plus no more than 5 members.
It doesn't say plus though. That's the thing. I think it needs to be worded more clearly if that's really what the intent is, that beyond those 6, there are 5 slots. And of those 5 slots, no more than 5 may be LWA. I think something like that would be a lot clearer, because I just read semicolon and no more than 5 members. Like the semicolon punctuation to me means all of these refer back to the membership of the committee would ideally include. And then when you get up to each semicolon, that's one of the things it would include. So I read the last item on the list as and no more than 5 members of the LWA to refer just to the original include.
Well, I don't agree, but.
I know we don't,
perhaps we
but I
can-
think it just needs to
Perhaps
be
we can get
worded
it made.
clearer.
more clear by
Yeah.
the select board.
Then the select board could pass it. And there was talk about that at the last meeting too, that they might do something just like that. But when I found this, I was like, right, this is what I was referring to. It's the semicolon and the lack of extra words like +5 more, of whom no more than 5 are members of the LWA or something like that.
Isn't it also, it also says ideally, it doesn't say you have to do it that way. It says ideally you do it that way. Am I correct about that?
I think so.
Right, but why would we not do what would be ideal?
Well, that's
We
that's
have
not
to
that's
do
not
what's
what that's
ideal.
not what it says. I don't know. I didn't write it.
I also wondered, I think the word ideally should probably just not be there. It doesn't seem like it would be a word that normally belongs in membership structures. Like it should just say would include and then a clear definition of what it would include. So
Well,
if
It
it went
is
forward
there.
to-
That's my point. It is there.
right, well, I mean, we can ask somebody then to also interpret that adverb along with the semicolon and the last clause or phrase the way it is, but yeah, the people I asked about the word ideally said that it doesn't really mean much.
see,
And it also prompts, well, why wouldn't you do what isn't ideal?
Usually because we can't achieve it. For example, we can never keep a Concom person. For years, we didn't have a planning board person.
Yeah, I think
We weren't
ideally,
able to meet that.
sure. But clearly we don't all agree. So I think it would behoove the committee to probably reword it in a way that we could all agree on.
not necessarily. We could go with what you have written here and do a majority vote. Say, is everyone happy with this approach, with this wording? And we don't have to, we're not looking necessarily for unanimity here. We're looking for a majority.
Is it up to us to, I mean?
Yeah, I don't know if we can interpret our own charge.
I would think so, yeah.
Can I just say something? We are caught in the weeds here. We're having this
Yes, indeed.
discussion that's
Yeah.
now going on
Yeah,
for
yeah.
20 minutes about semicolons and the word ideally and so forth. That's crazy.
It's the nature of the beast.
It is now apparently, it hasn't been up until this.
All right, so how about this? Well, I'm looking for suggestions on how we can pass this off to the select board and let them review the charter, the current version of the charter and say yay or nay. Is everybody comfortable with that approach? And, so if it's okay with everybody, and I don't think, well, I don't know if we have to vote on it, I will send this to Haley and say, can the select board just confirm if this is this is what they want? If that's okay with everybody. We need a vote on that?
I don't know.
I don't think so. I think it's just,
You can just declare that you're gonna do that in the chair.
yeah, okay, so that's what I'll do. So I'll send it off, to Haley and say, and get on the agenda. If, assuming they support the idea. Okay, good. Excellent. All right, I'll take care of that, send it off and do that in the next couple weeks or two. All right, so, update on dam activities. If everyone's okay moving on. Okay, good, all right. So we got the report, the inspection report, for the 2025 inspection report. The good news is things are no worse than they were in the past, so things are not deteriorating at a dramatic rate. So we still have the same problems and things didn't fix themselves. So we still have the same problems that we had before, which is the cement grout around the PVC liner is gone and that has to be fixed. So basically there's a leak in the dam. There's the spillway has the concrete cracks, which is just aging and needs to be fixed. There's some missing stones, minor voids, missing stones in the downstream masonry. The seepage weir is not functioning, it's never functioned. And we may want to just recommend that they just, well, we'll see what GZA recommends. But it's not really necessary, it's never really done anything. And then there's the usual debris, and stones and stuff like that, that's down, that's by the spillway. So it's just the usual, it's the same stuff we've had for a number of years.
And what's standing between us and getting these things fixed is just money?
It's just money. We have, there's there's two, things need to be done. One is we need to have the, GCA do a design specification, so we can send it out to bid. And say, this is what needs to be done, this is how it has to be done, and we'll get bids to do it. And we're waiting on money from the state. We have money from CPA funds, which is roughly 25%. And we're waiting on the state, small dam, like that, who the organization is, but we have the application in. We're just waiting to hear back from the state whether they're gonna fund the design work. Once we get the design work done, we'll send it out for bids. And hopefully next year, hopefully next fall, we'll have the money again from the state and from CPA to actually do the repairs. So it's define the repairs first and the scope of the work, and then have someone actually do the work.
And the range, the cost range that is in the report.
Yep.
And now, that is for doing the actual work?
That's the repair work, yeah.
The actual work?
Yes. Yeah, I think it was $55,000 to do the design and scope of the work, and which we're waiting on money for. And then originally the ballpark estimate was like 150,000. Now it's up to like 260 and 300,000. So, and that's we'll find out when we go off a bid.
The only other thing, has anything been done about the access to the dam?
No, nothing's been done about that.
Cause they'll probably have some heavy equipment or something that might be there.
Well, that was on Haley's to-do list when she first came on board, is to figure that one out.
This has been going on for 2 years now.
Yeah. So that's gotta be resolved. Well, I think we have time to resolve that. we'll find out, that could be a showstopper. But, well, I'll remind Michelle to take a look at that.
He's here right now.
What?
The guy is here right now.
Yeah,
He won't be during the winter time.
yeah, but I think we have contact information, Mr. Sutherland. Right, so that's gotta be, that's gotta be worked out. So that's where we are with the repairs. With the trash rack cleaning issue, Walter has got his liability release all squared away. And so he's ready to go ahead and do it. He just has to schedule some time with you, Howard.
Came down there. He was down there, and they did some cleaning.
Oh, he did? Okay, so my understanding that he hadn't done the diving rig, he hadn't gone underwater and done the actual work yet. So we can check with him. He's not here today. He's in Michigan right now. We can check with him to see if it's done. We also have to schedule some time when we can work on the repair the water level gauge.
Yeah,
And
it's only off by 6 inches.
and so when Walter gets back, I have a boat. We can go up there and hammer it down. That's right. Yeah. It's just money. I want you guys there. I can go up there, but I want you guys there. Just
Yeah, I'll have to chip him up the dam.
yeah. Okay. So when Walter gets back, we can figure this out. So the last thing about the dam is that we have this fall, we need to start working on the 2027 drawdown permits. And so there was a proposal from GZA to meet with Hill and just kind of come up with a plan for that.
We don't have the okay for this year?
We're okay for this year and
That's what
next
I
year.
thought, yeah.
Yeah, it's really 2027. So 25 is okay, 26 is okay because of the state rulings. And it's just a matter of just get a jump on it and get the funding in place and do the permits.
Oh, they're gonna pay me for it?
No. No, this is to get the notice of intent done and all the proper permitting done. It's got a little more complicated since I did it the last time. Any questions about the dam? Okay. Well, let's move on. Randall Road maintenance activities. I sent the note off, Bob was gonna follow up with Concom on this, he's the Concom representative, so Bob Douglas. And he was looking for some pictures, which I haven't sent him yet, but I'll send some pictures out. But there's definitely a notice of intent is gonna be required. And we'll see if Concom is interested in doing that. I'm not doing a notice of intent, I'm notice of intent out. I've done enough of those over the years, and so that really should be the property owner, which is Concom, who does the notice of intent to trim the trees back. I also have a question out for Bob, or Bob's looking into is there a legal requirement to keep the boat ramp open? Because it's a great pond, at some point.
Open year round or?
No,
Play it open?
if Concom doesn't, and this is my interpretation, if Concom doesn't want to do anything, or recommend that we trim the bushes back, the brush back, eventually that brush is going to come in close on the boat ramp. It's going to go closer, it's going to spread, and at some point you won't be able to back a trailer down. And because it's a great pond, it's not a requirement. Right, there's public access to a boat ramp. So I've asked Bob to look into that. I haven't asked him, he says he's looking into it. And so, yeah, so that's kind of where that all stands. And so it's really, we're trying to push it back to Concom to make these calls. This is their control. Yeah, okay. Anything else about the program? Sounds good. The next item on the agenda is if there's any update on the Lake Wyola Stormwater Erosion Task Force. Tom, is anything going on since the last things on Tuesday and Sunday?
Right, I think only that those two events occurred.
Yeah.
The webinar and the activities day.
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't make it to it. I was a little disappointed I couldn't do it. And so it's my understanding that we're just waiting on funding now.
Yeah, and that's an October notification date, so,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're waiting to see what happens there.
right.
I don't really know what happens if we don't get funding, state funding for these various projects. But we'll cross that.
Well, they applied to the Rural Development Fund for the October notification, and if they said no, I think the choices would be the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Program, perhaps, or something called 604D, I believe.
Yeah.
Like, there are other ones we can try.
Okay.
How were the events attended last week, Tom? I'm out of town, so I was just wondering what happened.
Yeah, so the activity day, I'll call it, on Sunday had, numbers wise, I'm guessing maybe 20 people, maybe 15 total, including those of us who were helping do it. It was fun, and took some photos and some videos, and they're gonna be put up on the website. We didn't do the site walk to look at anywhere on Shore Drive because people were basically just hanging around the activities tables with plants and water movement tables. The webinar had, I think, 8 participants, which was, for me, surprising because I think at least 19 people had signed up. But it went very well, and the webinar was recorded. So that'll also be put up on the site or made available somehow. And I think it'll be a good video, the webinar, for people who, the webinar was kind of like if you had never heard about this task force before, or the Lake Wyola watershed, geared towards that sort of person who really needed an A to Z introduction to what's happened. And the webinar ended with kind of what I just talked about at the rural, the pending Rural Development Fund grant, and kind of the history of the task force over the last 14 or so months. So hopefully it's an interesting watch if anybody chooses to watch the video.
Okay, good, thanks.
Any more questions about the stormwater erosion task force? Good, very good, thank you. Thank you, Tom. The next item on the agenda is just the wildfire management activities. So basically where we are now is that the Alex from the DCR is you can sign up to have your properties checked out. And that's on September 6th. There's the representatives from DCR Fire Workforce Fire Management will be come around to your property and make recommendations. I've signed up. I'm not sure who else is signed up, but I did send it to Lenny, and so it is got distributed around the town. And so it's really just kind of the end of the road with that. Once they come out, they'll give their recommendations, and you can choose to do what you want to do. So I'm, I'm happy with it, but we're almost effectively finished that project. Any questions, comments on that?
So, yeah, just for clarification, is this focused on the lake area or is it open to anybody throughout town?
It's open to anybody throughout town. That was always the intent. Yeah, unfortunately, well, it's open, it's always been open to everybody in town. And we distributed it throughout the town. The next door Shutesbury, or no, the town distribution list.
Town events?
Yeah, and I would recommend, have somebody take over your property. And it's, there's no cost. And it's good advice they're gonna give us.
How many slots do they have?
There was no room.
I think he said
Well,
15 slots.
Okay, but didn't they also say?
He
I'm
said
sorry, go on.
if they fill them up, they'll come out and do another date.
Okay. Thank you. Any more comments or questions on that? Okay, very good. Next on the agenda is an update on the beaver dam management efforts at the Lakeview Road culvert. It's, I've heard, I haven't actually seen it myself, but I heard that the beaver dam was removed and the beavers are building it back.
They're not building it, they built it back.
Uh,
And all the debris that they took out is on the embankment, which needs to be taken away. I don't know who does it anymore. The highway department used to, but they don't want anything to do with this anymore. Or it appears that way.
Do we know who took it out?
No, it's, well, I presume it was Beaver Solutions,
Oh,
I think it was.
but I don't know what their solution is. This is another dam there.
Well, this is something that, again, I think it's really coming down to the select board to say, this is part of someone's job description.
Correct.
And it used to be voluntary, the highway department used to do it, and they,
Well, I used to pull, once they took, the highway department took the dam out, then I used to down and cut, well, I went down more than two, but a couple times a week. And if there was any starting to build up, is I just take a long hook and pull that pieces out, throw it on their back, and when there got to be enough, the highway department would come and take that away. And eventually you discourage the beaver from even building it. And he goes, finds another spot. A week from us.
if it wasn't right at the culvert, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Really, it's,
Well, that's hard on those wing walls too, when they start
Right.
backing everything up there.
the culvert is not designed to be a dam.
No.
It's designed to be, cars drive over it.
Right.
So I guess we're looking for recommendations on how, we're an advisory group, what are we advising the town to do, or what are we advising someone to do?
Get rid of the dam and take care of it. I think they've been told to keep the area clean.
So is this a pass off to the select board? I mean, someone had in a position of authority, which is not us.
Well, I already said that I should go talk to the select board about it, I guess.
Yeah, that was before the meeting started.
Yeah.
So, are you willing to get on the agenda for the select board?
Yeah.
And talk about it?
Yeah.
Right. And so,
there was a select board meeting in like April or May where they voted to, I believe, engage or hire Beaver Solutions.
that's right.
Okay,
Yeah, no, yeah, that was right.
Okay.
And they did. They hired Beaver Solutions.
uh-huh,
We believe Beaver Solutions came in and removed the dam
Okay, I didn't know if they ever got around to hiring them or what happens. since then.
Well,
Okay,
someone removed the dam and it's generally believed that it's Beaver
Yeah.
Solutions. But the problem is that it has to be, it's ongoing maintenance is
yeah,
needed,
yeah.
because it just comes back. All right, so Howard's gonna go and try to get on the agenda for a select board meeting. We talked to Haley and Brennan. And,
I think that's a good plan.
okay. All right, the last item on the agenda is, things we didn't anticipate. Is there any other new items?
I have one. I'd like to nominate Tom as the secretary of this committee, recording secretary. He'll take a minute.
Um, I guess we go open for discussion. I'm kind of against the idea of it. I don't have any problem doing the minutes myself, and, but I would, and and I do get, wishful with, I want everyone's feedback, and it was just, I think now, Tom's getting involved in the committee more. If I send them out like on a Monday or Tuesday, if we review it and, it's not deliberations, it's just a matter of, looking for my mistakes. And I'll incorporate those and we'll get them time for the meeting. I mean, I appreciate Tom's help and, but I could use Tom's help to edit. And everybody's help to edit. I mean, it's just, so we have it right. But since you have a motion, I think we should have a vote on it.
Well, somebody would have to second it, or if nobody seconds it, the motion would start right here, which is perfectly fine. So if you ask for a second and nobody responds, then you move to adjourn.
All right, we have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, so we'll have a vote.
We'll see where the vote goes.
All right. So, let's see here, my notes, who's here? Let's start off with, so the proposal is to have Tom do the minute, to be the secretary of the committee and write the minutes. Catherine?
Yes.
Yeah. But then I'm gonna write this down, since I'm supposed to, I guess we have to do this, so. We'll put that down. Here, Tom being secretary. So Catherine is a yes. Howard?
No,
No. Tom?
Yes,
Mark? No. Art?
No,
Let's see here, Eric?
No,
And did I miss anybody?
no.
No,
I'm so glad Eric said no, otherwise I would have tied.
no.
well, that's still a no then, right?
Okay.
Yeah, thanks for the nomination.
All right, so we have a 2-4 vote, and so the motion doesn't pass. Any other items? Yeah, we
Mark.
anticipate.
I've got something.
Okay,
I don't know if people are aware, but weed watchers found invasive milfoil at one location in their annual weed watchers check. And to my recollection, this is the first time that they found any invasives. Apparently, there's a DCR team coming out in September to take a look at the situation, but I don't know any more than that.
Do you know where it is?
I do not know where it is. If you could contact Kathy and Tim Timpson, who coordinate weed watchers, and I assume, when the DCR figures out when they're coming out, we'll know more about it. And
Are they coming out because it was found, or was DCR already coming out?
no, they're coming out because of the finding of milfoil in the lake.
Interesting.
and milfoil is a bad one.
Milfoil is what's clogged up most of Leverett Pond.
Okay,
Eurasian water milfoil, there are milfoils that aren't invasive.
Right.
you're okay.
I'm
Um,
sorry, I don't know any more than that, but Kathy and Tim could bring you up to speed.
Is anyone willing to contact Kathy and Tim and, report back on the next meeting?
I'll do that because they're my neighbors.
Okay. All right, so Kathy will contact Kathy and Tim and we'll get an update for our next meeting. And we'll see if there's anything we need to, we as a group can do to help out. Or make it, or advise. Okay, thank you very much, Art. Anything else from anybody?
Move to adjourn?
Second,
All in favor of adjourning, Catherine,
Yes.
Art?
Yes,
Yes, said yes already. Howard,
yes.
Eric,
Yes.
Tom,
Yes.
and Mark is a yes. I missed anybody? Okay. So we're adjourned the meeting at 9:55. Thank you very much, everybody, for attending.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna end the meeting here. I can figure out how to do it.
Want me to take it with it? Moving cold plugs.
So we're ending the meeting here officially.